In this lecture, we will learn about Rabin-Karp algorithm, and it is used for string matching. Okay, so if you are given a text, some text, and you are given some pattern, then your work is to find if that pattern exists in the given text. And Rabin-Karp algorithm is one of the very efficient algorithm to solve this. So let's see how Rabin-Karp algorithm solves the problem. So here what happens, it involves two processes or stages. One is pre-processing of the pattern and the text, and then matching. Okay, so let's see what happens. So we will take a special case where our text has only the number 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 till 9, which is we have characters that are just numbers. And then what happens is, then we will generalize the problem, which is not a difficult problem. So for now, if we take that, okay, in our text only the numbers 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 till 9 are present. So now what we say is that each character is a decimal digit here, and hence we can view a string of those numbers, a k digit string, a k length string, as also a decimal number. Okay, so for example, if we have a text which is 0, 2, 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 8, 2, 1, 3, 5, 5, 6. In this, if we take this text, so this is a substring which is 7, 8, 9, 8. In fact, this is also a number. So we can take it as a string, we can take it as a number. So the number value is 7898. And it is a string 7898 of length 4. Okay, so we have dual meaning of the string as a sequence of characters and as a number. And what will happen now if you ask, so this is such special case, what will happen if I have like a alphabet A to Z, okay, and then capital A to capital Z. So what will happen? In this we have 52 characters, and we can take a radix D is equal to 52 number system. Okay, it's not a difficult thing, just the change is that you have to take a, if the size of your alphabet is D, if this denotes alphabet and size of the alphabet is D, then you have to take a radix D number system. So for here we will take, for understanding purpose, we will take a radix 10, a decimal number system. So string 31456, it is a decimal number 31,456. So well and good. Next, so it's a dual interpretation, a symbol and a number. So given a pattern P1 to M, okay, so we have, let P be the small, our lowercase p is decimal value of that pattern, and we have a text. So what happens? Now we will again take a window, for example in this one. So if we have to search a pattern 7898 in this text, so we will again begin with a window of size 4, it comes here. So 0 to 24 we will now take it as a number. 0 to 24 is not equal to 7898. We will go to the next window. 2 to 46 is not equal to 7898. When we come to this window, so this 7898, its numerical representation is equal to 7898, and hence these are equal. So it is just that simple. Only thing is that string you have to consider it as a number. Match the pattern value in number and the window value, and if they are same, it is done. So that you have found the pattern. But we need to make our algorithm efficient. So what do we do is that we have to calculate the value, decimal value of the pattern P1 to m digit pattern, and then we have a text of n characters. So let us have ts is decimal value of ts plus 1, s plus 2 till s plus m, this window or a substring. Okay, so what happens is if ts, the decimal value of that window, is equal to the pattern, then we say that we have got a substring which is equal to the window, and s is a valid shift. Okay, if ts is p. So this is a simple thing. Convert your string, the pattern, into numbers and then compare with window of the pattern size. If it is equal, you get a hit, you have got the pattern. But now how to compute the values? So we have a text, a pattern, let's say 2, 3, 4, 6, 7. So how to find what is the numerical value of this? Because these are, for now, for us, these are text, these are characters, we don't have value for them. So how to find the value, the numerical value? So we see that, okay, so in our Rabin-Karp algorithm, we can calculate the value of p in theta of m time, where m is the number of characters in the pattern, and similarly all the ts values we will try to calculate in theta n minus m plus 1 time, and then we compare all the valid shifts in theta of n times. So let's try to see first how we calculate this value of pattern p in theta of m time. Okay, so this is done by a very famous algorithm known as Horner's rule, okay, which evaluates basically a polynomial. So if you see, if we have a pattern, let's say a number which is 32,731, okay, so this number, if you get characters like this 32731, and if you have to evaluate this to a decimal number, so what you will do? 3 into 10 to the power of 4. So by place value we multiply 2 into 10 to the power of 3 plus 7 into 10 square plus 3 into 10 plus 1 into 10 to the power of 0. So this is the procedure we have to do. And if you see here, so how many multiplications do we need here? 3 into 10 into 10 into 10. So 5 multiplications here. Similarly, you have how many? So here 1, 2, 3, 4. In fact, 4 multiplications here, 3 here, 2 here, 1 here, and 0 here. So we will have, so how many? So 4 plus 3 plus 2 plus 1. So we have 10 multiplications are required. But what does Horner's rule do? It is a beautiful method, okay. So what it does, so basically we were evaluating something like this where we put the value of x is equal to 10, and if we do it in a general way we needed 10 multiplications. But if you take Horner's rule, so we can write it like this, take x common, so it becomes 3x cube plus 2x square plus 7x plus 3 and plus 1 here. Now again inside that bracket takes x common, 3x square plus 2x plus 7 and braces closed plus 3 plus 1. Now again take x common here, x into x into x. So 3x plus 2 plus 7 plus 3 plus 1. So if you see here now, if we try to evaluate this, so how many multiplications we are doing? 1 multiplication for 3x, then this is some number, we do x into this number, second multiplication, now we have got this bigger number, x into this, third multiplication, now we have got another bigger number, so this x into this. So we need 4 multiplications and it is equal to x to the power of 4. So this tells that Horner's rule can evaluate that pattern, the numerical value for it in theta of m times. Okay, it's very efficient, and hence so this will become the Horner's rule. This is the way, similar to this I can write like this, It is pm plus 10 into pm minus 1 plus 10 into something like this you have to write. So this is the basic idea for evaluating some patterns numerical value in theta m time. So similarly we can find t0 also in theta m because it's a window of size m. Now to compute all other values t1, t2, t3 till tn minus m, what we do? We write a recursive equation. So ts plus 1. So if we are something like this 1, 2, 4, 6, 5, 6, 7, 9, we have a window of size 5. So it's here. But now we know this value 12,456. But now let's say I want to find t1, which is this one. So it's now becoming 24,567. So how to calculate this in minimum time? So what we do when we have evaluated this and we are evaluating this, so there are a lot of things. This part is the intersection. Only this is not here in this calculation and this new thing is present. So let's see what we do. So ts plus 1 is 10 into ts minus 10 to the power of m minus 1 into ts plus 1 plus ts plus m plus 1. So let's see what it is. Big formula. So for example, if we have this, okay, so we have this text and we have this, we are at this, our window is at this part 45,629 and ts plus 1 is 56,295. How to get ts plus 1 from this? So first thing is we want that these four have all shifted here to one left. So they have come here. 5 now takes the value of, it was getting multiplied by 10 to the power of 3. Now it's getting multiplied by 10 to the power of 4. So left shift of 1 is happening in ts plus 1 for all letters. Okay, all the last 4 letters. So what we do is that we want to get this from this number 45629. So what we do? From this I subtract 40,000. So 10 to the power of 4, 10 to the power of m minus 1 into ts plus 1, which was this. So we get here what? It will now become 5629 and that's what we wanted. We wanted this separate part. Now to shift this by left by 1, we multiply it by 10. So now it will become what? 4 will go 5629, 0, it will become this number. And what is this? This we are adding in the end. So it will just take 5, another left units value. So it is 56295. It is becoming. So this formula now can calculate for you the value, and hence what happens by using this all values can be calculated in theta n minus m time, because it's just sliding and it needs it needs constant time to evaluate these, because we know this, we know all these values, so it just takes no time at all to evaluate this. Okay, so now what happens, and again 10 to the power of m minus 1 and all we can pre-compute in a table. So this takes theta of n minus 1 m times. So if this is done, so we have calculated t1, t2, t3 till tn minus 1, tn minus m, and now just what we have to do, compare p with t0, t1, t2 till tn minus m, and for whichever it is equal, it means those windows are having the pattern. So it's that simple. But one of the problems with it is, if your m is large, okay, so if the pattern size is large, let's say pattern size is of 75 letters, okay, if this is such a large number, you cannot expect that we can compare t0, t1 with p in constant time, because that number itself, now that big numbers cannot be handled by operating system in constant time. So now we need to do something, and the cure is that we compute all these ts value, p value modulo some suitable q. Okay, so we take now modular arithmetic. Modular arithmetic means if we have a very large number, you divide it by, let's say, 7, then you will get some answer which is between 0 to 6. So it becomes such a small number. So that's what we have to do, and let's see what happens. So now if I want that, okay, I'm searching for a pattern which is 31415. Okay, so what happens? I will first compute P is 31415 and I compute P modulo 13. So it comes out to be 7. So now I take this window of size 5, I compute its modulo. If it comes out to be, let's say, so what happens if it comes out to be the same, the modulo, the remainder when divided by 13, then what can I say? Okay, so let's take the other one first. If this is not P modulo 13 is, let's say, 6, then I am 100% sure that this text window is not equal to the pattern, because if the patterns and this were same, you would have surely got the same remainder. But even if I get a 7 here, then also I might not be sure that they have the same value, because different numbers divided by a number can leave same remainder. For example, 11 and 15 both leave remainder 1 when divided by 2, but 11 is not equal to 15. So similarly, but if what happens, 10 divided by 2 leaves remainder 0, 15 divided by 2 leaves remainder 1, then I'm sure 10 is not equal to 15. So here what happens, you might get some spurious hits where the modulos are same, but then what we can do, we can, if for two numbers, some windows we are getting the same modulo value, we can then see the whole of the pattern one by one. Okay, so for example, T window 1 to M, we can match with pattern 1 to M, 1 by M, and if all are equal, then it is okay. And then how we write the recurrence relation here? Now TS plus 1, so we just have a little different formula. Modulo Q happens here, and here also 10 to the power of M minus 1 modulo Q happens. So this way now you will get, and it becomes the same algorithm, but it takes less amount of computation, means for it can handle larger numbers. So this was about Rapin-Karp's algorithm, and it is very interesting algorithm for pattern matching. I hope you understand this. If you like this video, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thanks a lot.